Welcome to The Resilient Realtor, where we gain insight, inspiration, and understanding of what makes a great real estate agent, interviewing agents of change. And now, the host of The Resilient Realtor, an award-winning veteran real estate agent and community leader, Kim Hayden.
Finding agents of change, people who make a difference within their community, their families, and their clients. So today I have Grace Simon, and you are the host of Simon Says podcast. So when you're done listening to this, you got to go find her. So welcome aboard, Grace. How are you today?
Thank you, Kim. It's great to be here on with you. This is so much fun. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. We both had a COVID hair moment. We were both showing our COVID hair. So we both are doing our part. Nope, part.
Yes.
All right. So Grace, we're going to dive right in. You are a real estate agent for how long and what market?
I've been a real estate agent for 14 years. It's hard to believe I don't have any wrinkles or anything. And I specialize in the residential properties within York region.
All right. And so has York region always been kind of your farm area?
Yeah, it is where I've always worked. Born and raised in Newmarket. I raised our 4 children here in Newmarket, and we just love York region. So it's a wonderful complement of my life to be able to work and play and do what I love in the York region area. So it's a lot of fun.
So we all wear many hats. Real estate agents are not just people that unlock front doors, right? We help build community. So can you give us a bit of insight as to kind of, you said 4 kids, married, born and raised. Tell us about kind of your role within your community.
I consider myself to be a community catalyst for transformation. And it seems like a big statement, but it really is who Grace Simon is. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, but I'm a realtor, I'm a town counselor, and I'm a certified coach with the John Maxwell Group. And everything comes into alignment. I'm a person of faith and just really believe in people, love people. And so everything that I do is to serve the community, serve people, and serve God. So that's who Grace Simon is.
That's who Grace Simon is. So we see the family, we see everything. Why real estate?
Real estate was something that came naturally to me. My grandmother was a realtor. My mom's cousins were realtors. My aunt was a realtor, and my mom was a mortgage broker who would love to have been a realtor. But my dad didn't want her to be a realtor because he just saw from family members of how much time it exhausted the family and having to be out all the time. And so she was a mortgage broker for many, many years with Scotiabank, and she loved that. She's amazing, and she's still doing that. So we work hand in hand with that business. So it's worked out just really amazing. But I also wanted a career that, because I'm a wife and a mom first. That is, the pleasures of life is my family. They are the fruit of my womb, So I really wanted to have something that could be flexible, that I could still be present with my kids and participate. My husband's in the automotive business, and that's another career that takes a lot of time. And so I was a single mom raising my kids for most of our lives because of the fact that he was the primary supporter giver of our family. And so I wanted something that I could earn and have independence and enjoy, but also not take away from my family. That's really a challenge for women, right? You want to be able to be independent, you want to be able to provide, but our kids need to be, our families need to be, the number one source of our life. So real estate really allowed for that to happen. Of course, my kids had to sacrifice a lot over the years, and none of them want to be real estate agents because of the fact it really does exhaust a lot of time. But I always remind them that I was home more than I was away. So even though it was inconvenient of missing dinners and the rushing and this and that, it still allowed me to be present and to allow our family to be able to go on vacations and have the extra things in life that they've had. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey.
Let's look at books. Let's look at coaches. Who do you go to, or what have you read?
So the book that I love to teach with John Maxwell, I teach the youth and I teach realtors, and I teach my group. After this, I have my group happening this afternoon. We're learning the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. And I think that everybody should do this study, because we go through life and trying to figure out who we are or what we're about, but we don't look on the inside. We can't grow ourselves unless we know ourselves. And John's book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, is just an incredible transformational book. It really is the key that really starts the growth journey taking place. A lot of us, grow through mistakes and failures, and that's all good, because we need to learn and grow through our failures. But if we learn some key concepts in our life, it would save us from some of the unnecessary mistakes that we've made. And so I love teaching it. I love talking about it, and I love learning as I go through it with others.
So you're doing a class right now then?
Yeah, we're talking about the law of consistency and the law of environment today. And I'm really looking forward to going over that one with them, because the law of consistency is really for a realtor. There's no realtors in my group today, but me being a realtor, it's my most difficult, challenging chapter that I teach. So I'm looking forward to talking about it.
And as real estate agents, we tend to be a bit on the creative side, and it's sometimes easy to get distracted. So consistency is definitely critical for success. So let's talk about apps or platforms. What do you like to use? What has been good for you in your real estate business and helping to kind of drive you forward and help you get the business that you're looking for?
Platforms, of course, social media, being community influencer, being involved in the community, knowing your community, talking about your community has been the increase of the platform where we need to be. If that's your focus point. It's not everybody's focus point, but for people like you and I, Kim, it's all about the community. It's all about people. And so I find that the social media platform of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere you can be social. I'm going to start trying TikTok soon. We'll go and see how it goes.
Now, we'll have to get you a fog machine. So when you come on TikTok, you come through the fog machine. We'll put a cape on you. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God. I don't know anything about it, but my daughter, who's married and she's into marketing, she's like, you got to do TikTok. So
you got to do TikTok. Okay.
We'll see. But you're connecting with the people that you want to connect with, people directly in your area. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm still growing and learning through it, but that's the platform that I enjoy doing.
What about organizational? So we talked about being consistent, and being organized is part of being able to be consistent. Is there any tools that you utilize to keep your life on track?
I've really learned to use my CRM system, which is so important. I knew this whole 14 years of life that CRMs are really, really important. But I'm not naturally a organized person. And so it's been I've always been able to keep everything up here, and I've done really, really well, except for then when I took on the counselor position, and I had so many emails and so many meetings and so much of everything going. I had no choice but to organize my life and put it through a system. And so we use KV Core system through eXp Realty. And I found that is so helpful, because it helps me to nurture my clients, my leads, and gives me reminders. So as long as I'm good at putting that into the calendar, putting that into the system, then life is much easier.
Much easier. Absolutely.
Much easier.
And there's lots of different platforms out there. I think the big thing is just learning to use it. So yeah. That's
There's so much available. It's just us realtors, we are creative people, and we really don't like to take the time to learn scripts and be consistent and do what we need to do to increase our business. But it's very much necessary.
Now, do you use scripts? Have you trained on that through Maxwell, or like what do you do?
I'm learning to to create my own scripts and internalizing them. So as I learn a script, then I'm rewording it for myself, and I'm, spending time internalizing it instead of memorizing something word by word. It's very, very important that you internalize. So even when I'm teaching my John Maxwell class, I've read and I've listened to that book over and over again, so that more times I do it, I've internalized the lesson, I've internalized the process for myself, that I'm able to be more influential. I'm at a greater effect when I internalize things for myself. So it's even for scripts, talking to people. It's not like when you internalize it, it becomes part of you. So you feel less salesy, and you feel more intentional when you're having the conversations with people.
We've talked about the term servant leadership, and when I visualize that those two words, I think of you. You've always
Oh,
somebody who comes to mind because you step out into your community. With coming through COVID and the world changing and moving, we're going to see a shift in how people work. More people are going to be working from home, so they're going to be they're not going to really be as engaged outside. So when we look at servant leadership, what are some of the things that you've practiced, or that you think others could actually implement, because we have the opportunity through real estate to be leaders in our community? What are some of the things that you really have enjoyed, or activities or events, things that you've put together?
well, you know what? Everybody wants to feel connected and valued and appreciated. And so when there was an announcement that we were not going to have Canada Day this year, the way that we're used to having it with festivals and, community events, we love Canada Day. My family, I've always raised my kids to love Canada, to be patriotic, to celebrate the country that we live in. And so Canada Day is a very important day for our
Yeah.
family. And so when we weren't able to have festivals and things happening in Newmarket, because Newmarket does an amazing job with their community festivals, it was a real letdown. And I thought, well, if I'm let down, then my community must be let down. And so I just thought, what could I do to help my community? What could I do to help, increase joy and help hopefulness and connectiveness, the things that, help people to get through crisis, right? We, as leaders, as realtors, we are the ambassadors for our town. And so we really have opportunities to make differences and to help, affect the atmosphere of your city or town or neighborhood or community. And yes, I'm a town councilor. Yes, I'm a realtor. But you know what? My core value is just being genuine, being true to who I am. And that really is being passionate for people. And being passionate for my country. So I started an initiative for Canada Day where I had signs created for my ward. And it says, Canada Strong, Together We Stand, Ward 1. And I have the Canadian flag in the middle of it. And I've been giving them out to residents in my area. We have a little bit of competition going, inviting people to dress their front lawns up for Canada Day. And the best dressed street for Canada Day can win an ice cream truck for their neighborhood. We're trying to get people out of their front lawns, and even though we have to be a little bit of apart, we can still celebrate our great country. And you know what, Kim? I'm getting emails, I'm getting Facebook posts, people just appreciating that desire to connect people together. And so it doesn't matter that I'm a counselor. It doesn't matter that I'm a realtor. It doesn't really matter about anything. It's just people really appreciate you looking at, how can I help? How can I make a contribution? And so with every sign that goes into the lawn, I'm asking people to make a donation to 360 Kids. 360 Kids helps youth that are facing homelessness or living in homelessness. And it's a wonderful organization
Wow.
that provides food and clothing and counseling and education, whatever they are needing to help them get on the right track, help them to get going again. 360 Kids really is that 360 service. And so people are donating to 360 Kids. They're loving the lawn signs, and they can't wait for Canada Day to hopefully win the ice cream truck. And so that, I'm just so excited about it. I love it. My name is not on any of those signs. It's all about really serving through the genuine heart. You're not doing it to get anything back in return. Just the fact that I just want people to be happy, to recognize that this is a really difficult time that we're all going through, and how can we make a difference in our lives and other people's lives.
The absolute essence of servant leadership. Amazing. So when doing all of this, what's your guilty pleasure? How do you step back and just become Grace, right? How do you not, by the way, that's a great name, but how do you find that space within yourself when, with all of your workload, with all of your community obligations and commitments, your family and stuff, what's your guilty pleasure to just unwind?
Just my guilty pleasure. Well, my guilty pleasure is I love salt. So I love, it's so silly, but I love nachos. I love cheese nachos. I love nachos and cheese, and I can eat a whole tray of those. So that's definitely guilty pleasure. But I do. I love, like, don't put them out in front of me because I will eat the whole platter. But also Friday night, I really do enjoy my glass of wine on Friday night. I just made it through the week. It's been great. And I'm looking for my lovely glass of cab waiting for me come Friday night. So that's definitely my guilty pleasure that I take.
So if we want to get on your good side, a glass of cab and a plate of nachos. Done.
You got it, baby. They don't really go together. I love fancy cheese to go with that nice cab. So
when you started this journey, and you had kind of a unique journey with your kids, and the fact that you have the surprise baby, which is just such a treat to get that opportunity to do everything right. Because we learned on the older ones, right?
It's true. It's so true.
We call my 30-year-old the pancake. You know how the first pancake on the griddle sometimes isn't always like you're going, oh, well, that's a little crooked. And then you got the rest of them, right? And they're all perfectly round. But so yeah, he calls himself the pancake baby.
That's so funny.
with everything that you've had such a robust life, and you're actually going through a huge transition right now again, just taking a look, and you're smiling through it, which is amazing. What's some of the advice? What's a piece of advice that you've gotten that you've has really kind of resonated? Who gave you, or where did you read that piece of advice?
As I've said before, Kim, I'm a woman of faith, and my faith has been my everything. Like, my God is my everything. So I definitely, Jesus is my number one best teacher in all the world, and all of history is still the best teacher in all of history. So I learned from him. When somebody was thirsty, he gave them water. When they were hungry, he gave them food. And when they needed clothing, he gave them warmth. And when they needed help, he healed them. And so that is who I am. And that's what I desire, is that if anybody is in need of help, that I'm here to serve. And I love having people in my home. I just again, just look at Jesus. What did he do? How did he serve? And he was perfect without sin. And I'm certainly with lots of that. I will never be that, but that's what he came for. And so that has really been my center point of my life. And I can't take away from that. And John Maxwell is an amazing coach for me now. And just listening to him, he's 72 years old. And he's like, we need to be more growth minded than goal minded, because, goals come to an end. People come to their goal, and then what? But if we're eternally focused, if we're growth focused, then it just never stops. So he just says, I write every single day. I'm not done until I know I'm done, where I write no more good books. When my writing starts to stink and nobody wants to read them, then I'm finished. And so I really want to live my life in that space. Today is what I have. And so I want to appreciate today, because tomorrow, who knows what we have tomorrow, right? But I have today. So just living in the present, being very thankful and appreciative of who I have and who I get to spend time with is really, really important to me. So, spending time with you, Kim, is is really special. You're a special woman. And so I just am so grateful to be able to have sit here and done this interview with you.
Well, I think birds of a feather. I think we come together, and I think surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to be more, to be your best. So, what's a quote that resonates with you? If you put a quote on your bathroom mirror that you had to look at every day, what would that be?
I have something that goes over my head every day, and it's everything rises and falls through leadership. Leadership is influence. Everything rises and falls through leadership, nothing less and nothing more. And so I just, as a leader in real estate, as a leader in counsel, as a leader of wife and mom and everything that I do, I just have to understand that things are a result of how I lead or how good or how poorly I lead. And so that is just something that I'm not achieving, but instead of beating myself up about it, I just need to grow and develop and be the best me that I can be so that I can help more people. And so everything rises and falls through leadership. And we see that around the world right now. And the importance of good leadership, so needed in this time.
That's amazing. That really is. That's inspiring. That's definitely one to put on a bathroom mirror to look at every day. That's for sure. Grace, I can't thank you enough for sharing with us. And is there any last piece of advice, anything you want to share?
I think we've covered it all. I hope I was able to inspire and give something to someone today, whoever ends up listening to this. So thank you so much for the opportunity, Kim.
Absolutely. And like I said, you can go and listen to Grace at Simon Says, and we'll have her website up here so you'll be able to find her. And Grace, I can't wait to come out and have nachos and wine, maybe not in the same sitting, but I can't wait to just be able to share your time with you. All right?
I can't wait to give you a real hug. Kim. We'll see you soon.
All right. You take care, Grace. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, be an agent of change.